Hey, why are so many Americans dealing with anxiety in the 21st century, both children and adults? Well, let me tell you a story. There is a college kid who made it to college and does well in college, but he wanted to join a club. And that was out of his comfort zone, and it made him experience a lot of anxiety. But he got himself to go to the first meeting, and it went well, and everything was fine. But then when he tried to go to the next meeting, his bus, something happened with the buses and he couldn't get there. And then the next meeting, he couldn't get there either. And now he really wants to join this club and be a part of this club, but he's anxious and he's already deals with a lot of anxiety, and he's sitting there using his 60,000 thoughts to be like, I want to go, but I don't want to go. I mean, I want to go, I want to be a part of this, but then I'm gonna have to walk in by myself. And he starts doing all these things in his head. And so finally he gets enough courage and convinces himself to go. And then he's about to walk in and he can't get himself to walk in. There's all this anxiety. He's talking to himself in his head. I'll look funny, this, that, making up all these kind of things in his head. So he walks around the perimeter of the building, trying to get his head together and releasing some of that adrenaline, utilizing some of that adrenaline and cortisol. So he's walking around and he's getting his head together and he's talking to himself, he can do this, he can walk in. And so now he's used up some of the adrenaline and he's about to go in, and he gets to walk in with a group of people. And so he felt so much better. So that is an example of anxiety. But here's the thing. He finally figured out, he said, he realized it wasn't that big of a deal. So he realized that after, but before. Mark Twain says the best quote that explains it all. I've dealt with some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. Mark Twain. Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the Randy Light Experience. My name is Randy Light, and I want to welcome you to the Randy episode 6, how to overcome anxiety, or the feelings of anxiety right now. And actually, I am your guest today, Randy Light, and Landrum-Ferguson is our host. Hi, Dawn.
Hey, everybody. And Randy, as you were sharing that story, I could feel my anxiety start to build.
Okay, well, we're going to get into that in just a minute. So I want to welcome some of the people that are here today. There's already a few viewers, So here's the thing. I want to let you know a little bit about who I am, what's going to happen today, and what the 6 steps we're going to get into. But there's some things you also need to know. You need to know that if you enjoy what you're hearing, hit that like button or hit that love button. And send some of those bubbles across the screen. Let us know you're here. We want to know you're here. And if you're enjoying this, or you know someone who deals with anxiety, because there are millions and millions of people who deal with it, then get them on the show. Share this with them so they know about it. We want to share the love. Just go ahead and share the link right now. So if you are new, you're also probably wondering really who I am, who Dawn is, what anxiety and peak performance have to do with each other. So those are great questions. So let me answer a couple of them. My name is Randy Light, and I'm a peak performance coach. I'm a certified hypnosis instructor, a healer, and for the last 10 years, I've hypnotized thousands of children and adults to overcome almost everything, but especially feelings of anxiety, depression, and insomnia. And this really helps you become a peak performer when you break through whatever is in your way, so that you can be there for yourself and be your best version of yourself. And the thing is that in order to be in a peak state whenever you want and wherever you want, you've got to manage your mindset. So I am the author of The Essential 4, and here it is without the glare, I think. There we go.
Yeah, you got it.
And the creator of the Essential 4 system. It's hypnosis combined with coaching, and it gives you everything you need to break through whatever's in your way so you can have the life that you want and manage your state, your mind, and be a peak performer personally and professionally. So we have a couple of comments, and then I'm going to pass it on to Dawn. Dawn is an amazing human being. Let me just say, Dawn Ferguson is, yes, you are. I love you, and you're amazing, and I'm so glad we're team tagging and doing this together today. You're a great coach, a great hypnotist, all these wonderful things. So we're going to switch. I'm going to say hi to Pat and any of the other people. Say hello, share comments, spread this, and then we're going to get into the show right now. Let people know, send some of those bubbles across it, and so we can see the reactions and have some fun and know that you're here. And if you've got questions, ask them. So Dawn, would you take a moment to introduce yourself to us?
Hey everybody, Dawn Ferguson. I am a hypnotist along with Randy. But you know what's interesting is that it's hard to see the picture when you're inside the frame. And I also happen to be a business coach for hypnotists. When I came across Randy and her work, what she's been able to do to assist people in breaking through that anxiety that's holding them back, I asked if I could actually be on her program, not as a guest, but the one to interview her. So, Randy, I have two different types of anxiety. So, wanting to be on here and interviewing you and doing a good job and helping showcase your talents, because there are so many people who are held back by this challenge unnecessarily. There are so many things we want to experience in life, and the anxiety can overwhelm us and keep us from that. Well, I was experiencing a level of anxiety with that, but I also have another type of anxiety. I have the type of anxiety that sometimes when I wake up in the morning, it's hard for me to breathe. It is already there. It is waiting for me just to open my eyes. I can have an anxiety whenever it's time for me to step into a presenter role. I have an anxiety sometimes just getting out of the car and going into places. So before we even get into the questions, can you share with us what is the definition or the meaning of anxiety, so we're all on the same page?
Okay, great question. And I want to say hi to Janet, Pat, and anyone else that I can see or not see. Welcome to the show, and thanks for being a part of this. So, so if you look up anxiety, they say it's a general term for several disorders that cause nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worrying. And these disorders affect how we feel and behave and can cause physical symptoms. So that is a general term, but so you know that there are situation specific. Like, so you, even me just telling you that story reminded you, triggered it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so with that story, that guy, he kicked in the fight or flight response. And once that's there, it can take a good 20 minutes before it gets out of the body. So the adrenaline. The thing is though, anxiety, it is really stuff that we make up in our head in a lot of ways. Just like Mark Twain said, I've lived through some terrible things, some of which actually happened. So anxiety is this anticipation of a future event, which may or may not come true. It's a story we make up in our head, and it begins with our thoughts. And that is a really important thing. So I think that answers it. There's a couple of different kinds. There are generalized anxiety disorder, but there are just basically everyday feelings of anxiety, and it's a pattern of behavior. It's a learned pattern. So you can change that. You can, and you already know, because most of the time you're an incredible goddess and nobody can tell that you are feeling anxious. And a lot of times people can't tell. Other times they actually show the signs of you kicked in that fight or flight response.
So, okay, it can be situational, but or it can be just that behavior that's going to come out of nowhere based on the stories that we've learned to tell ourselves again and again.
Exactly.
You and I already know hypnosis works really well. And I also know, as I said earlier, you can't fix something when you're inside it. So I know or knew that I had to reach out and coming across the Essential Four and you explaining it and how it works. So we already know hypnosis works for this. But how many sessions does it actually take before someone like myself begins to experience results?
Well, my clients, so I have, I would say, at least 70% come in with anxiety, but they don't just come in with anxiety. Many times there's a depression and insomnia connected with that, and they get all intertwined. Some people are on meds and not on meds. But the Essential 4 is 4 sessions that can transform you. But really, on the first session, we're doing what I call confidence building, ego strengthening, and teaching your subconscious and your conscious to work together to respond resourcefully to the world. So that when you start to, if you start to build up some of that negative thinking, that anxiety, you can respond resourcefully to that feeling and just let it go. And that's where the 4 L's come in, where you can actually decide that you want to do them. And on the first session, I actually install them in hypnosis. But the point is, people after the first session start feeling so much better. Things that would bother them don't bother them. But I never know when someone's going to actually get what I call emotionally triggered. Something happens. You could get a call that your mom's in the hospital, or, something can happen, or not. It doesn't even have to be that dramatic. You just get mad at your partner or something, because you get emotionally triggered. So I never know. So that's my first session of the Essential 4. Can last days, hours, it doesn't know. But that's why when I do the second session is regression to the root cause of the anxiety. So we build a framework of confidence, responding resourcefully, and then we get to the root cause of the anxiety on the next session. And that really solidifies everything, because you create a belief and draw a conclusion from everything that happens in our lives. And you do it from the age you are when the event takes place. So a 4-year-old's version of the world is very different than a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it is.
So that regression, so the first session can make you start to feel great, sleep great, all that. And then we do the deeper work so that you barely ever create that anxiety, and we create new healthy patterns of behaviors.
Okay, so on the first session, we're looking for resources and how to be resourceful. And then on the second session, you're going to help us get to the cause, right?
Yes, I do a little bit of what I call emotional clearing on the first session, but the bottom line is you walk out of there believing in yourself, feeling great with those 4 L's, and feeling calm and confident in control. And Katie, who I already interviewed a couple of episodes ago, just wrote, Randi's calm and confident session made her feel 10 years younger. And she loved it so much, and she got such great results, she became a hypnotist. So it was cool.
And hey, ladies, all of us want to have that energy for feeling younger, as well as that focus. Okay, I know that you and I had discussed before we ever went live that you were going to share with us 6 strategies to stop feeling anxious. I think we should get into those now.
Okay.
I got my pen and paper. I'm ready to write some things down.
And, I meant to tell all of you who are here, well, first of all, say hello, that you're here, or say your name. Welcome, be a part of this, but I'm also going to install an anchor to help you feel calm or confident, whatever you want, so that, like Dawn at the beginning, when you started hearing that story and it reminded you, you could just touch your thumb and finger or make a fist, and instead you would actually feel calm and confident. And so we'll do that at the end. You always get an experience when you're with part of the Randi Light experience. So, okay, I'm going to share the 6 steps, but one of the key things that is really important is you have to realize that you're in a stress state. Like, you knew. And so that wasn't even one of the 6 steps. That's just that you have to realize you're there, that you are building anxiety with your thoughts. You're triggered. You need to know. And then you have to want to change the way you feel. So those are like, before you even get into the steps, you've got to, 1, realize that you're in a stress state. And then 2, you need to want to change the way you feel. And then I'm going to get into the specific tools and techniques you can use to change the way you feel. And we'll do those, and they're part of the 6 steps. But the thing is yes, you have to decide, but you also have to make a clear decision to stop criticizing yourself, and become your own best friend. And I believe that is so important that when anyone who works with me to do the Essential Four, I just have to be silly sometimes, is that they have to sign an agreement. They have to literally sign an agreement to stop self-criticism.
Wow.
Become your own best friend. I think that's so important. And if you go to my YouTube, you can watch us doing muscle testing that clearly demonstrates that when you're mean or to yourself or thinking negatively to yourself or even someone else, your body goes weak. I mean, it affects you. You release a chemical cascade of stress hormones. Doesn't matter who you're thinking about or talking to. So one of the first key things is to stop the self-criticism. And I like to say, become your own best friend, your own BFF, or your own best coach ever.
I like that, because if we're not going to do it for ourselves, no one else can do it for us.
That's a great, great point, because you're going to sit there and just ruminate in your anxiety, or you can decide, you know what, I can be there for myself. Or you can decide, I wish somebody would be there for me. Or you could decide, I'm going to be there for me. I've got your back.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Welcome, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
So
can't see anybody.
Realize you're in a stress state, that we want to change it, and we have to get into agreement that we're going to become our own best friend, because then we'll be able to recognize the things around us that can assist us with this. Okay.
Yes. Well, and another thing I noticed is, so for me, like, I cannot really watch bad things happening on TV.
Oh,
when I actually, you either?
No.
No, when I watch it, especially if I've been doing sessions all day and I feel like I'm really open. And if I watch someone fall, or all the terrible things that are happening in the world, I can't watch it. If I listen to it, I can actually hear it better. I can actually manage my emotions much better when I hear it versus seeing it. Mm-hmm. And so figuring out how, because a lot of people want to know what's going on in the world, but there's so many bad things happening that it's bringing a lot of anxiety to our culture. It's like an cultural epidemic. If you want to know what's going on in the world, well, first of all, don't do it before you don't pay attention to anything like that before you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And notice how you do it, because some people can watch it better, some people can listen better, some people can read it better. Whatever doesn't make you so emotional is what you want to do, and stay away from the other things. It's really, really important.
Okay, so we're going to notice how we take it in, and be able to take it in without it affecting us. Okay. All right.
Yes, if you need to watch the news, figure out how you do it best. So that's number 2. So stop self-criticism, stop watching, listening, or reading debilitating news. That's what I wrote down. And then, as we talked about before, learn how to change your state. So the kid I was talking about, he was building up all that anxiety, ruminating in his mind, playing out scenarios that never were going to happen, being extremely self-conscious. That's all working up. But that's where you got to notice that you're in a stress state, that you're building the anxiety with your thoughts, and you need to stop. You need to realize you're doing it and learn actually how to change your state. Well, he was smart enough, whether he meant to or not, to walk around the block, and that actually gave him some time for the adrenaline and cortisol to go through the body. Mm-hmm. It can take 20 minutes to get through, and use it, right? Adrenaline is there because it thinks your body thinks it's being chased by a bear. So you want to, if you use up some of that energy by moving your body, first of all, you're changing your state, and second of all, you're using up that adrenaline. So one of the first things you want to do is, if you've already kicked in the fight or flight response, is start moving your body, using up that adrenaline, or breathing a lot to move that stuff out. And then you've got to change the focus of your thoughts. These are ways to change your state. Your state determines how you feel, and what you're focusing on determines how you feel. So you can change your state by moving your body, and you can change your state by changing your thoughts.
Okay.
So you and I both know this thing called a pattern interrupt. And my son and I were having an intense conversation today, and we were getting somewhere, but it can get really confusing, right? When you're talking intensely and trying to figure out how everybody feels and all these different things. And there was a kiwi, a piece of fruit there that I've been trying to get him to eat and I just picked it up and we just started hysterically laughing, and it interrupted everything. And then everybody calms down, settles down. And so you want to do that. You want to do something out of the ordinary. Just change the focus of your thoughts totally into something. Do something drastic and fun and playful, and focus on something you can feel grateful for. That's what that really can help.
Okay. So I want to make sure I got all of this. Okay. Because you just gave me a whole lot. So we need to learn how to change our state, because the fight or flight switch got turned on. And so one way can be utilizing that energy through movement, because it can take us up to 20 minutes to process. It can be changing the focus of our thoughts. And we can also do a pattern interrupt by doing something out of the ordinary, something maybe that's funny, that breaks that trance-like state of, oh my gosh, or maybe moving into gratitude. But those are the different ways that we can change our state, correct?
Correct. Heart breathing is another one, and I'm going to give you guys a tool today. That's what I'm going to give everyone a tool so that they can use it to change your state. Okay. And as we both mentioned, you already mentioned practicing self-hypnosis or meditation every day. Meditation and self-hypnosis can melt the cortisol out of your body, improve your immune system, and with hypnosis, you deliver suggestions of positivity, and they get into your subconscious and they make you feel good. So doing that consistently is great.
And that's really important. I'm just going to put a plug in for us women of a certain age that might be experiencing menopausal symptoms, because that can turn on that cortisol. So what you just said, Randy, practicing that meditation and that self-hypnosis helps us get control back over our body and some of the bizarre things that it wants to do.
Yes. And then the last thing is getting to the root cause of the anxiety, not just dealing with the symptoms, because changing your state is really important. But when you do regression with a hypnotherapist, that means going back in time to the source, to the root cause of that anxiety. It can be released from the body. You change the beliefs that created that anxiety, and then memories get healed and reevaluated. The bottom line is, regression is the most powerful tool in my belief system, in a hypnotist toolbox. And we're one of the only professions that can do it, and do it really well. And so it is a miracle worker. I have seen people's pains go away, anxiety, everything, just from dealing with this thing I call emotional clearing and doing regression to the root cause. So you do not have to live with the anxiety. You don't have to live with that. You can change the way you feel. You can.
And what you just said, as far as getting to the root cause with a hypnotherapist, that's really important for me to know, because so many times I tried to fix myself, but when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to see your way through. So actually having a guide, someone there who knows what next step we're supposed to take when we're reevaluating those experiences in our life, that's what makes the transformation. It's not just a change. That's what you do, Randy, for others, is you transform it to where once the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, it does not go back. And so it's really important for our audience to know that they need to be reaching out to you, because when we try to do these things on ourselves, we can get actually stuck in those loops, further entrenched. And that's what you're helping us with, is that emotional clearing, as you said.
Yes. So that's the 6 steps, the 6 strategies to stop the anxiety, and learning heart breathing, which I've done in the last couple of episodes. So you can always go to that. I would love to take everyone through the anchor right now. So here's here's the thing. So first of all, I want to address that how Dawn's feeling, many people feel, is that, oh, I can take care of it. I can do it myself. Well, if you already would have done it, if you could take care of it yourself, right?
That's it right there. If I could have, I would have, and couldn't. So I needed to reach out. You got it, Randy. Okay.
And that's so important. I feel like that is so important. I think I see Nick. Hi, Nick. Welcome. It's so important to realize that we all need help. Everybody. Even the person who made more money in one day in the stock market made over $1 billion in one day. He ended up needing a coach and help because he started to get anxious and in his head. So everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people. And so anyway, I'm going to do this anchor. So I keep saying this anchor. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, but here's the thing. If you could have any feeling, and all you have to do is either go like this or go like this, think about what you would want to feel. Do you want to feel calm, confident, comfortable, peaceful, relaxed? I mean, it can be more than one. Mm-hmm. So think about what the emotion you want to feel, and if you'd rather do this or this. I mean, it can be anything, but these, nobody necessarily knows you're doing it. Is this in? It's like, yeah. Can you guys see? So that's one of the first things. So figure out what you want to feel, okay, and which of these are going to be your anchor, so that all you're going to have to do is go like this, and you're going to feel that good feeling.
Okay, I got it.
So I was training a bunch of coaches for volleyball players and teaching them about this anchor thing that I'm talking to you guys right now. And all of a sudden, one of the coaches said, oh my God, I thought that Olympic coach was stupid. And he explains this whole thing that this Olympic coach did. So the Olympic coach had a box of strawberries. And every time the athlete did an amazing performance, performed in the zone, he had them smell a box of strawberries. And then the next time they performed really well, he had them smell a box of strawberries. And then the next time they performed really well, he had them smell a box of strawberries. So now there's a neuro association between being in the zone, performing really well, and smelling strawberries. Now that's an anchor, that's a trigger. The strawberries become the trigger. Mm-hmm. It's anchored. It's a neuro association. It's a habit now for him or her to perform in the zone while smelling strawberries. So now the next time you want to perform really well, all you have to do is have the athlete smell a box of strawberries. So that's what we're going to do. It's not going to be strawberries. It's going to be a memory and a movement. Now, sound is great too. Whenever I hear Bruce Springsteen on the radio, I'm immediately transported back to Tracy Sackley's bedroom singing at the top of my lungs in high school. So I didn't know that Bruce Springsteen was going to do that to me. So you guys, if you are multitasking, this is your chance to sit down, stop what you're doing, to install an anchor that triggers a great emotion and memory, so that next time you might feel anxious, instead you go like this or like this. So stop what you're doing, siéntate or sit down, and it's a closed-eye process. But go. So whenever you're ready, and even if you're taking another minute or two to stop what you're doing so you can fully listen, because this is a great opportunity to change your state. Okay. So go ahead and close your eyes. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a memory in just a moment of when you felt that wonderful feeling that you want to feel, where you want to feel calm or confident or in control or peaceful. So the next breath in, take a deep breath in and hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And then when you do let your breath out, tell yourself to relax and picture and feel a healing sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head all the way to the tips of your toes. And let's do that again. A deep belly breath in, holding your breath in. And then I like to tell people to look up above your eyebrows and connect with your higher self and your intuition. And then lower your eyeballs, breathe out, and picture a healing sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Now you can continue to deep breathe or resume normal breathing. Either way, go ahead and become aware of the memory when you felt that great feeling that you want to install either into your thumb and finger or fist. Keep your hands open right now. And in a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1 and then snap my fingers. Just allow each number to relax you and deepen you. When I snap my fingers, you arrive in that scene when you, or in that memory when you had that great feeling. So go ahead with a count of 3, begin time traveling back to that wonderful memory. 2, time traveling back to that wonderful memory with a count of 1. Be in the scene now and go through the scene. See the details, hear the sounds, feel the good feelings. And notice when the moment that the feeling feels the best. And then in just a moment, rewind it and replay it. And at the moment where you feel the feeling the most, where you imagine it or you feel the feeling the most, that's when you touch your thumb and finger or make a fist. So go ahead and rewind it and replay it. And then at that peak moment where it feels the best, touch your thumb and finger or make a fist and take a deep breath in, like you're breathing in that calm, confident feeling as you're going through that memory. And then when the feeling subsides a little, open up your thumb and finger or fist. And we're going to do this a couple of more times. Rewind it and replay it. And at the same moment, as you see, hear, and feel it, when it feels really good, touch that thumb and finger or make that fist and breathe it in. Breathe it into you and feel it, see it, hear it. And we're going to install it one more time. So go ahead and rewind it and replay it. And at the same moment, touch that thumb and finger, make that fist. Feel the wonderful feeling, breathe it into you. Good. Now open up your hand. And now I'm going to take you into your future. So think of a time where you might want to feel this good feeling. And imagine yourself in that future scene. And while you're imagining yourself in the future scene wanting to feel this good feeling, touch your thumb and finger and make that fist here and now and imagine yourself doing it in your future. And breathe it in and get that great feeling. And then imagine yourself responding from that wonderful place, that you're responding resourcefully. You feel calm and confident. And then do that same thing in either a different scene or a new scene. Pick that same scene. You're going to be mentally rehearsing your anchor feeling great. So picture a scene where you might want it. Touch your thumb and finger here and now and imagine yourself doing it in that future scene or your fist. Breathe it in and get that great feeling and respond from that. You do that. And then open your eyes. Welcome back.
Wow. Thank you, Randi. I'm doing it now.
Yay! How does it feel?
Sweet. Yeah.
Good. All right, cool. Well, that's it. That's it. But the thing is, Dawn, is when I'm interviewing people, I like to let people know how they can get a hold of my guests. And I know you're not my guest, but you're an amazing human being. And we have someone who said wonderful. So thank you, Kelly. And so you're amazing. You're brilliant. You're a coach. And share with the world how, if people want to learn more from you or find out more from you, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay. So I am a coach for other healingpreneurs, helping them showcase their abilities, their strengths, and their talents, because the world right now needs coaches and hypnotists like you, Randi. You help others turn on their brilliance. I want to help other coaches, hypnotists, and therapists showcase their brilliance and build their bank account both at the same time. So you can find me online, drewdawnferguson.com. So DrewDawnFerguson ferguson.com. You can call me direct, 636-699-7791. I'll be more than happy to gift you a coaching call where we can talk about your business and how you can build that better world while you build your bank account, both at the same time. But now we need to get back into what we were doing, Randy, which is, what is our audience's next step with you? Because the very final thing before we went into our anchor, oh, I'm really enjoying that. I'm sitting here doing it now. The last thing we talked about was getting to the root cause. Stop dealing with symptoms. Get to the cause. So what does our audience need to do to be able to make that happen with you?
Well, I'm going to say they need to work with me and do the essential four. But the thing, I mean, I encourage anyone. I see people all over the world through these kind of things, Zoom or anything. But so everybody needs a next step, as we know. Your subconscious needs the next step. If you have anxiety or know someone who does, children or adults, you don't have to live this way, but you got to do something. So you can get a hold of me. I'd be glad to do a coaching call as well to help you, or for us to get to know each other and see if we're a good fit, and help you, give you some tools and tips, some more to break through that. You can just, I can offer, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's
there we go. Yeah, there. Oh, look at that. This is
an MP3 or a CD, Calm, Confident, and in Control. I can send you the MP3. For you, just private message me on Facebook or whatever. It's be like $7. You save money, and it's a great next step. It helps you feel calm and confident and in control. It's hypnosis. But the thing is that it's not going to do the deeper work. It's going to do the anchor. It's going to help you feel calm and confident, but you want to get to the source. If you want to work with me privately, then definitely you can call me. You can go to randilight.org, or you can go to my new website, randilighthypnosis.com. Either way, you'll find me. And we can schedule a coaching call, or if you want the MP3, this will help you accelerate your success. Working with a hypnotist will help you accelerate success, even get more money in your pocket, make you feel good everywhere. So that is it. And I have one more thing to say, and it's because you need to know what's going on next week.
Yes, what's coming up next week, Randy?
Next week, Kira Lani is going to be joining us. And she helps healers master their energy to unleash their true gifts. She does something that I have no idea what it is just yet, called Tree Gong. And I've seen this twice, and do transformational breath work, retreats, mindful movement, meditating, journal, and connecting with trees. So I'm kind of curious. I know I love trees, but it'll be great to find out more about what this is, and that will be next week on Randy Light, the Randy Light Experience on Facebook Live. So spread the word, share the word, and Dawn, thank you. You are just such an awesome human.
Well, and thank you for the experience you gave us tonight of starting to manage the symptoms. Now I'm going to encourage everybody, get to the cause. Reach out to Randy, see if she is the right fit for you. And you're not going to know that until you talk to her in that private way where she can help you begin to reveal who you really are.
Cool. See you guys all next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.